it needs to evolve. Okay, it needs to take the next step. Right now, fiat currencies are instantaneous. If I give it to you, we're done. If I swipe my debit card at Walmart, it's done. Right? I can't use Bitcoin that way. Okay, the way that it's designed, it's designed well to mitigate certain kinds of attacks or hacking, if you will, right? But the consequence of that is that it's not a usable currency. I can't actually spend it at Starbucks. I can't go to my local grocery store and use it. I can't use it at a restaurant yet. Not only that, it's volatile. Prices going up and down all day long. You dump a bunch on there, you'll watch the price drive through the floor, a bunch of people buy it up. Very, very traditional sort of market dynamics, only exaggerated. Okay? So that means if I walk into a restaurant assuming I could spend Bitcoin, in the morning I might be able to buy breakfast for my entire family. Right? But by the afternoon I can barely buy a cup of coffee. That's what we call high price volatility. It's not useful
Got it.
in an actual spending arena.
So Ubiquitcoin.
The Ubiquitcoin comes in and says, all that goes away. Ultra fast, so you can actually use it. Truly decentralized, there's no big giant mining pools that are out there. Small footprint, so it can actually run off your cell phone. Okay, so we could have millions of nodes, not just 10,000 nodes. Right? Spendable everywhere. Instantaneously converted
It doesn't
back
matter
into
where
fiat.
I am, in France, in England.
Doesn't matter where you are. Give you a debit card that goes with that. No limits on that. We figured out a way to do that. Recall, we've been doing this for decades, right? So we understand those spaces. We know how to make those things work. So we can come to the table and create the ultra fast, truly decentralized, truly democratized version of what Bitcoin was trying to do, and come to the market with an ecosystem built around it that isn't just a conceptual concept where money value is going up and down, but it's not liquid, but it's actually usable through this broad ecosystem of services that everyone can participate in, regardless of your socioeconomic strata or what region of the world you live in.
So Bitcoin was designed to decentralize currency.
Yes.
And Ubiquitcoin is bringing institutions.
So I can tell you I've had this dialogue so many different times. Nothing fires me up more than this, because what they're missing, the pundits, if you will, for cryptocurrency spaces is that in order for blockchain to be valuable, it has to be used. Right? It actually has to have a fit into the different verticals that are out there in the space right now. And right now, ask yourself, what verticals are using blockchain other than the cryptocurrency space? None. Okay? And the reason is because the fiat currencies out there, whether we like them or not, are part of modern society. They run this society, and the institutions behind them have been doing this for hundreds, sometimes thousands of years. You have a better solution in the blockchain, you do. But you can't just walk into a vertical and uproot what's there. I don't care how disruptive you are, it has to be adopted, right? And that adoption is never going to occur until you make this usable, right? So what Ubiquitcoin has come along to do is say, we're going to bridge that gap. We believe in the blockchain vehemently, but we also understand the modern world. And the modern world is run by banks, financial institutions, large entities out there. In fact, the infrastructure that Bitcoin runs on across the world is managed and paid for by massive institutions, okay? You cannot have this infrastructure without them. So this idea that I hear every once in a while, the U.S. economy is going to fall apart, these governments are going to go down, and we're going to have this coin. My first thought is, what are you going to run that coin on? Like, what infrastructure is actually going to manage that? So they've missed the boat in figuring out how to bridge that gap. That's what we bring to the table. We have 16 years of bridging that gap, moving into various verticals. We are bringing institutions to the table. We have 4,700 different institutions that are already part of our legacy systems, are already tied into our ultra-fast systems. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to say, here's how we bridge the gap into those people. We're going to get them to use the blockchain, and then we're going to meld that blockchain into them, but it's going to take time, right? But that is never going to happen unless you can bridge that gap today. Debit cards. I'm going to actually be able to swipe my card and use it. I don't want to have a $200 a month limit on it. I can't even buy a meal with that. I want to have unlimited limits so
And
I
Ubica
can
Coin
use
can
that.
do that.
And Ubica can do that. And we've been doing that for years, right? We understand how the banking industry works. That's the benefit of bringing those institutions is we understand how to make those things actually happen. So I can bridge the gap and fix what the cryptocurrency space today can't do because of those institutions. Now, so then the question becomes, aren't they controlling this? Well, no, we're controlling this through the blockchain.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I have somebody here who'd like to use their debit card based on the blockchain that we produced that's immutable, public, all the same features of that distributed computer, which is really what a blockchain is. And I'm going to hand it off to you every once in a while when I need your services, but you're not coming into the mix. Okay? You don't get to control what actually happens in this mix. All the nodes get to control that, of which you're not even a node, Mr. Bank. I'm not going to let you in. Okay? But I'm going to give you the benefit of a new mechanism, a new crop of people, a new demographic that can now spend in your institution. But we're not going to use your institution to house all of that value.